Welcome back everyone, Jose21 Crisis here, and today we have a new chapter of the Mendoza career. It's been a while, but we're finally back, and we expect to be back for the foreseeable future. This time we have round 3 of the 2000 FIA Formula 1 World Championship at the Autodromo Enzo and Dino Ferrari in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. You will know this place very well by the name of its Grand Prix. This is the San Marino Grand Prix. The Imola racetrack, another way it is called instead of the complete Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari name, it's quite a historic racetrack. Not all of that history is good, but it is fondly remembered by some. It is a high downforce racetrack with plenty of slow corners and medium speed corners, some fast corners, some straight sections, but a notable tendency of it being difficult to have overtakes. It's just an old school, tight track, not many overtaking spots. There's a few at the Tosa hairpin. Piratella, it's possibly complicated to make an overtake there. There's also Tamburello, if one can get it done on the braking. Ribazza, possibly another overtaking spot. Other than that, you just have to be creative around this track to be able to create passing opportunities. For this reason, most teams are safe running medium to high downforce configurations. Low downforce could allow more overtaking opportunities, but it just as well reduces how close you can be to opponents because you cannot get out of corners as fast or even take them as fast. For the same reason, that is, for a different reason I mean, tire wear, you usually want to run higher downforce, as that reduces tire wear, which when not controlled can be an issue around this racetrack. For that reason, teams prefer two-stop strategies. Occasionally someone will risk it with a one-stop and some will risk it on a three-stop. Generally you expect two stops. As for the weather report, we expect completely clear skies and dry weathers for both the Saturday qualifying session and the Sunday race, so don't expect, unlike Brazil, the weather to play a significant part around this track. And now let's review the World Drivers' Championship. Both Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher are tied at 16 points at the top of this championship. This is because both have a win plus a second place finish in the opening races. Then we have Rubens Barrichello of Ferrari, 8 points to his name, Alex Mendoza of Jaguar, 5 points to his name, David Coulthard mans the 5th position with just 3 points, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, 6th position with 2 points to his name, Ricardo Sonta and Jarno Trulli are tied for 7th, only 1 point to their name, everyone else is completely pointless. As for the Constructors' Championship, Rubens Barrichello's better position compared to David Coulthard means that Ferrari lead the way with 24 points compared to McLaren's 19. Then you have Jaguar with Mendoza's 5 points, Jordan has 3 points, and BAR Honda also, is 5th with a single solitary point. Every other constructor still looking for their first points. And that will be it for the preview. Now, I'm getting told that the qualifying session is well underway, so let's jump in there and see which were the fastest qualifiers of this weekend. Well, at least Mendoza has the sense to leave his final lap to the end of the session. So here we go, over the gears he goes, little glitch on the camera, but here we go. He opens his lap and down all the way to Tamburello he goes. Braking hard, you can see the sparks coming out of the car, jumping all over those curves, sparking all over the place. That's a very low car he's running there if he's sparking on the braking on the curve. There he goes again, under braking through the Billner chicane, sparking all over the place, into the Tosa hairpin, no sparks this time. Okay, he keeps it under control. That first sector was actually pretty good compared even to the Ferraris and McLarens. Anyway, he said this sector to him is the worst one. That looked okay, maybe could have used a bit more room, but into Alco Minerali, braking, keeping it under control. We usually struggle with this section again, bottoming out. is really running that car very low. Into Variante Alta, that's a very aggressive running of that chicane. Usually other drivers slow it down, but he just went through it. Into Ribazza, under control, looked a bit slippery there, but kept it under control, putting the power down, runs a bit wide, okay, he kept it in the legal, not on the grass. Into the final chicane, jumps over one curb, jumps over the other, put the power down. That right there is a pretty damn good lap time for a Jaguar, that is. That's a pretty solid lap time. Now, let's go to the end of the session and see who qualified where. It is another pole position for Mika Hakkinen. Second will be Michael Schumacher. Third, it's David Coulthard. All of them with a 1:21.4. Just Mika Hakkinen slightly faster with a 1:21.412. Michael Schumacher 1:21.465. David Coulthard just barely off 1:21.479. The next best will be Rubens Barrichello in fourth, 1:21.765. Alex Mendoza impressively managed to put down a 1:22.331 ahead of Jacques Villeneuve 1:22.4. Jarno Trulli 1:22.4. Heinz Harald Frentzen another 1:22.4. Just 100th of a second behind his teammate. Ninth will be Giancarlo Fisichella 1:22.572 compared to the 10th position man, Jos Verstappen 1:22.590. Raul Schumacher and Jenson Button did not do that great, 11 and 12, both with a 1:22.7. Ricardo Zonta, Pedro de la Rosa are next, 13 and 14, 1:22.7 for both of them as well. Just small difference here in this midfield. Alex Wurst, just 0.3 of a second of his teammate with a 1:22.8. Even worse is Eddie Irvine at 16th, 0.5 of a second behind. Marc Genet put down an impressive 17 with a 1:22.9 ahead of both Saubers of Mika Salo and Pedro Diniz. 1:22.9 for Salo, 1:23.0 for Diniz. The pros of John Alesi and Nick Heidfeld are next, 1:23.3 and 1:23.4 respectively. And the last slot on the grid belongs to Gaston Mazzacane with a 1:23.5. Now the cars are getting ready on the grid, so let's get in there and see how the San Marino Grand Prix turns out. Alright, everyone's lined up on the grid and ready for the lights to go out. Engines are revved up. And the races go. Clean start by Hakkinen, he will not be challenged. Clean start by Michael, he will not be challenged by Coulthard. Mendoza actually had a very good launch, managed to beat Barrichello. He did not beat Coulthard. It looked like he pushed him out, but we'll have to see. Right now, he got the position. Like we made some interviews with him, and he actually mentioned that the start at Brazil, after that he decided to practice race cars a lot, and it looks like it paid off because he just beat a Ferrari off the line. It looks like at the back everyone managed to get position. The car keeps bouncing off the ground. I think the FIA is gonna check that car whenever it actually manages to pass the blank test. But for now, he will keep going. Rubens Barrichello is trying to find a way past Mendoza, but he cannot find any way through. Anyway, at the front, it is Mika Hakkinen leading the way. He was completely unopposed of the line. Right behind is Michael Schumacher. Right behind him is David Coulthard in third position. Fourth place is manned by Alex Mendoza. Great launch of the line. Fifth is Rubens Barrichello, who did not launch as good. And sixth is Jacques Villeneuve, who entered lap 2. Race just started. Now it's time to see how it unfolds. You do not win the race on lap 1, you surely can lose it. And for now it looks like Barrichello lost 4th position to Mendoza. That's an interesting radio right there. We usually expect the Cosworth engines to be fairly reliable, but the fact they're asking him to not be that aggressive on the engine means there must be something up. And who knows, it could affect the minorities or it could affect only the Jaguars. We've been hearing some radio transmissions from the Prost garage that Janelacy's that doesn't sound good. We've heard that the Janelacy's gearbox was not doing well, and it's proving it right now. It seems to be stuck, and I think that will be a Lacy out of this Grand Prix. What a shame. And we are looking right now at Eddie Irvine, the lead driver of the Jaguar team, although it doesn't look like it that way. We've been getting some reports also from Jaguar that Mendoza has been assigned as the development driver, and most of the input is taken from him. Despite that, they still speak about Irvine as their lead driver. He couldn't quite get his lap hooked up in qualify. Oh, whoa, he went straight. He hits the wall. That didn't look good. He's not moving anymore. That might have been a brake or suspension issue. That will be one of the Jaguars out of the race. I was speaking glowing of him, and now he goes on and DNFs. And this is very interesting. Mendoza has been called to the pits just a moment ago, and it looks like it's very early in this race. It's very, very early. That probably means he's on a 3-stop strategy, which, considering where he qualifying, it could work. It could explain why he could keep, I assume that's not a corner cut, it could explain why he could keep Barrichello behind, because the Ferrari is definitely faster than the Jaguar. But that means he's definitely gonna struggle to keep that 4th position. The Jaguar team is probably considering a 5th place finish. He's gonna be ahead of Jenson Button. That's not gonna be a problem. The Jaguar team at this point is probably considering a 5th place finish. And now things are looking very interesting because Mika Hakkinen has caught up to traffic. That's Nick Heidfeld ahead. Careful everyone. That's Nick Heidfeld ahead. Heidfeld is actually a McLaren Junior, if we put it that way, and he definitely should be getting out of the way. If he knows what's best for him, he needs to be careful. Heidfeld ahead, Gaston Mazzacane ahead, and the traffic, it could spice up this race. It looks like Rubens Barrichello has been called to his pit. There he goes. Into the pit goes Rubens Barrichello now. The question is, Mendoza has been putting a decent set of lap times, but so has Rubens. He's definitely be very, very fast. There's Mendoza, as I was saying. Who will come out ahead? I'm pretty sure that Barrichello should be able to come up ahead. We are in the middle of a pit window, and other cars have been pitting. A while ago you saw the Williams of Ralf Schumacher come out, and Barrichello goes out first. Then you have Mendoza. Mendoza is catching up, but no, it's not gonna be enough. Rubens Barrichello ends up ahead of Alex Mendoza, but you have to remember, Barrichello looks like he's on a 2-stop, although on fresher tires. Mendoza has a lower fuel load, but slightly more worn tires. I think Barrichello should start pulling away from him, but this is Formula 1, you never know what's gonna happen. Lap 29 now, and Mendoza has managed to keep up with Rubens all of this time. He's very close, he's always taken the Villeneuve chicane very well. He sent it up the inside. No, Rubens is absolutely not having and held it on around the outside. Mendoza is not giving up though, into Piratella. Rubens still not giving up. Barrichello just defending extremely well from a car he actually should not be defending against. What is Mendoza doing? Trying to get a move done into Alco Minerali? Only he and God know. But anyway, they keep going, Variante Alta, and remember Mendoza is actually very good through there, and Mendoza is right on the gearbox of Barrichello. Could he try a move into? Oh yes, he's gonna try it, and he got that move done. It was a very clean move. Ahead of Barrichello, up to 4th place he moves again. Barrichello down to 5th now. lap 34 now, and I think it's time that I made a rundown of the situation that has gone down so far. In the lead, of course, is Mika Hakkinen. He has been completely unopposed from everyone. David Coulthard makes it a McLaren 1-2. He managed to get past Michael Schumacher as he was stuck in traffic. Of course, Michael Schumacher now in third position. Alex Mendoza in fourth, although he's been called into the pits. He should be pitting this lap, which will mean Rubens Barrichello will be promoted to fourth, right behind Jacques Villeneuve. He's actually manning sixth right now. Seventh place for Heinz-Harald Frentzen, eighth position. Jarno Trulli, ninth. Giancarlo Fisichella, Ralf Schumacher of Williams in 10th. Jos Verstappen 11th and Jenson Button 12th. Mendoza does go into the pits now. Let's see how many people he comes out behind. As I mentioned, right behind him should have been Villeneuve, Frentzen, Trulli, Fisichella. Maybe Ralf Schumacher gets past two. Jos Verstappen as well, but let's see. Cameraman, can we move the camera a bit more to the right to see who's coming? Oh, and only up to Fisichella, so that means Mendoza dropped down to 9th position. Remember, he's on a 3-stop, so he should be having an extra pit stop compared to everyone else, so his net position right now is 9th. I don't think it's ideal for him, but I think the Jaguar team can make it work. Lap 42, on board with Heinz-Harald Frentzen. I see a ton of smoke ahead. Who could that be? I'm not sure who could be producing that much smoke. Anyway, Frentzen goes in. That means we are into the second pit stop window for all of the two-stoppers. And we found the guy that was smoking. That will be Marino. Come on, Mark, you need to get out of the way of the lead lap cars. That will be Villeneuve and Trulli trying to get past him and past each other. Right behind is Mendoza and Fisichella. Mendoza is trying to do the same thing he did to Barrichello, trying to pass him in Tosa, but he just cannot get it done, just cannot put the power down to be able to get the move done. Tries Imperatella again. I'm amazed at the fact that these drivers can keep the car running straight while going on the gravel. Again, that senseless move by Mendoza trying to overtake in Aqua Minerale. He needs to be side by side with them for that to work, and he just isn't. But again, he runs Variante Alta so well, and I don't think they can see much, either Fisichella or Mendoza. And he goes Ribazza. Okay, that move wasn't as clean as the one on Barrichello, but at the very least he got it done. Mendoza moves up another place, but I mean, he still needs to get a lot of a job done, and I can't see a thing. I just hope those two can actually see what's going on ahead. But he needs to start going a bit faster so that he at least can secure 5th position. He started there, at the very least he has to finish there. This 3-stop may actually work, and there goes Genet, he's DNFing. He's finally out of this race, but he still has some work to do, and he looks like he has the pace to do it. These are some terrible news for Ferrari. It looks like, oh hi Mendoza, hi Fisichella. It looks like Barrichello's gearbox has seized up. He's stuck in gear. That will be him out of this race. I'm pretty sure this is not what the Italian fans wanted, and not what Ferrari wanted, considering the fight they're on with McLaren. They definitely did not need this at all. And Mendoza has been called in to serve his final pit stop of this race, and considering the gaps, I'm looking at the gaps right now, it seems he will be 6th, 7th, 5th, around that region, and I'm pretty sure Jaguar that's exactly what they wanted, fighting for 5th, 4th position. Considering he will be having the freshest tires among everyone, all Mendoza needs to do is have a lot of pace, and he should be able to finish 4th or 5th, considering looks like Jos Verstappen pits as well. I think that's Jacques Villeneuve as well. Considering the pace he's having, he should be able to catch up to 4th position, that's Frentzen, and Okay, he will have another threat in front of him, that is Jarno Trulli. And as predicted, Mendoza is 6th. Up ahead, Trulli, 5th position. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is 4th. And I'm hearing Frentzen has reported an issue and he's stopping the car. He stopped it in the outside of the track. Mendoza just went straight to the back. I couldn't see very well from the camera angle. He has destroyed his front wing. He lost the front wing. He's locking the tires. This is an absolute disaster for Jaguar. From having the possibility of finishing 4th, he did manage to get ahead of Trulli, but at what cost? He doesn't have a front wing. He's gonna have to beat again. There we go. They're calling him back. He's definitely not having a good time, Mendoza now. He's definitely very upset. He's gonna have to pit again. He's gonna lose a ton of positions, and considering everyone else back there, he's definitely gonna drop out of the points. This went from an excellent race for Jaguar to now a very disappointing one, again locking the tires. That the lack of front downforce would do that to you. And into the pits he'll go again. No more damage or anything. He's gonna serve another pit stop. Just a very disappointing outlap. Very unlucky that Frentzen had an issue there and had to stop. Out he goes again. He will be, it looks like he will be 11th. Yeah, he comes out 11 out of the pits. Ahead is Pedro de la Rosa, who has been called to the pits now. But yeah, I don't think he's very happy about this whole affair. Michael Schumacher is leading this race, but he's been called to the pits, and as you can see, he's very quickly going to lose the lead to Mika Hakkinen, who has driven excellently this race. Director, can we see Mika Hakkinen going by? There he goes. Mika Hakkinen is now leading the San Marino Grand Prix. Right behind him is his teammate David Coulthard. Second, it's a McLaren 1-2, and it's excellent for the British team, but the Italians, Ferrari, at least they have third. They will be on the podium, but I'm pretty sure they wanted a far better result for their fans. It's still a decent result, but they definitely wanted more points out of this one. Pedro de la Rosa, after his pit stop with fresh tires, low fuel, he's been catching Mendoza. Mendoza, in the whole Frentzen incident, he went just straight into the back and damaged his suspension, so his car has been going to the side, and he had to change his front wing. But Pedro de la Rosa has been he's not catching him anymore, lost control over the curves, probably had some sort of suspension issue that will be him out of this race, and Mendoza probably secure in 10th. De La Rosa is not the only one that's having a rough end of the race, because here goes Salo, probably another one with suspension or brake issues. That's a very dangerous position, the outside of the racetrack. Okay, no one's gonna hit him, but that's gonna be the Sauber of Salo out of this event. We haven't shown much of Mika Hakkinen, but that's because he's been driving near perfectly. We haven't had a chance to actually see him in action because he hasn't had to really race anyone. Or around the final chicane, and Mika Hakkinen will win the San Marino Grand Prix. And it's not only a win for McLaren, it's also a 1-2, as David Coulthard will finish second. Disappointing end for Ferrari, who wanted to win but will have to settle for third. At least they will be on the podium with some points, but with Barrichello's DNF, that won't be as many points as they wanted. Fourth is Jarno Trulli, who managed to keep the car running despite his teammate DNFing and the guy that would have overtaken him, Mendoza, crashing into his teammate. But, you know, Trulli did the job. Right behind him in fifth, Jacques Villeneuve. Drove a pretty clean race, did not get into any trouble other than some back marker issues, but he was fine in the end. And behind him, sixth, is Ralf Schumacher in the Williams, scoring some points for the Williams BMW team. Solid job by the German. And then you have Giancarlo Fisichella in the first. Benetton, not that great of a result. Right behind him is Jensen Button in the other Williams. Decent result, could have been better. And then you have Jos Verstappen in the lead Arrows. Solid job by the Arrows, who as we know doesn't have that much downforce. Finally in 10th position you have Alex Mendoza, who finished, like I said, 10th in the Jaguar. He knows it could have been better. Everyone knows it could have been better, but that incident at the Tulsa hairpin with Frentzen took away what could have been a solid points finish. Let's now take a look at the race results. Hakkinen and David Coulthard make a 1-2 for McLaren, with Michael Schumacher completing the podium. Jarno Trulli, Jacques Villeneuve and Ralf Schumacher are the final point scorers. 7th will be Giancarlo Fisichella, 8th Jensen Button, Jos Verstappen in 9th, Alex Mendoza in 10th. A lap down will be Ricardo Zonta, Alex Wirtz and 15th, classified, he did not DNF. 14th will be Mika Salo, he actually did DNF but managed to complete more laps than Mazzacane did. Pedro de la Rosa, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Rubens Barrichello, Marc Genet, Nick Heidfeld, Jan Alesi and Eddie Irvine did not manage to finish the race. As for how the San Marino Grand Prix affects the championship results, Mika Hakkinen takes the lead of the championship with a 6-point lead over Michael Schumacher. David Coulthard is now at 9 points in 3rd position. Rubens Barrichello is now 4th with just 8 points. Alex Mendoza 5th with 5 points. Jarno Trulli is 6th with just 4 points. There's a tie for 7th between Jacques Villeneuve and Heinz-Harald Frentzen, although Villeneuve has an 8th place finish, which puts him ahead of Frentzen. Finally, you have Ralf Schumacher both with 6-point finish, although Ralf Schumacher has a 9th point finish, which is the best finish between them, so that means he's gonna be 9th to Ricardo Zonta's 10th. As for the constructor standings, McLaren and Mercedes take a 7-point lead over Ferrari thanks to their 1-2 finish. Then you have Jordan with 6 points, who managed to overtake Jaguar, who stays at 5 points. BAR Honda with 3 points, and finally Williams finally scoring points. A single solitary at that, but points are points. And that will be it, ladies and gentlemen. This episode took definitely a long time coming because I was really looking into upgrading my PC, as I mentioned plenty of times before, and I finally did. I hope you noticed the change in quality, as the frame rate was considerably more stable and higher than in previous episodes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next episode, where we will be going to Great Britain for the British Grand Prix. Comment, like, subscribe, all that classic YouTuber stuff, and if you do like all of the stuff I'm doing, there's a coffee link down there. You can support me if you so desire. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next race.